Okay, so now we're going to talk about reflections. So there are two types of reflections. First, I'm going to get some graph paper here. All right, so let's just have our normal, logarithmic function. It goes through, the x-intercept there, going off something like that. It depends what the base is for the actual shape. And remember, the asymptote would be on it's right there on the y-axis, x equals 0. Okay, that would be a basic logarithmic function. So that would be like g of, well, let me change it. Let me make it f of x. Like f of x equals log some base of x. Okay? Now, if we want to reflect it about the x-axis, we'll do that one first, then it would be like g of x would be the opposite of log base b of x. That's going to reflect about that's going to reflect about the x-axis. Okay, so it's going to look like, it's still going to go through that point, but it's going to look like this. Okay? All right, so let me write that one first. So the steps, you're going to first draw the vertical asymptote. I'll put a 1. So, yeah, this is for, let me do a little bit better job. Okay, so I'll write the function up here. G of x equals the opposite of log base b of x. So first, do the vertical asymptote, x equals 0. So notice the vertical asymptote staying the same. Okay? And then it's going to still go through the point 1, 0, the x-intercept. And then it's going to reflect about the about the x-axis. So reflect about x-axis. Now, the shape is going to be dependent on that parent function, whatever b is, right? All right, and then you have to draw the curve. So draw. These are the steps they give you. And then let's think about the domain and the range and the asymptote. So the domain is still going to be 0 to infinity. The range is going to be all real numbers. And the asymptote is still going to be x equals 0. Notice that it went, though, from an increasing function. Now it's a decreasing function. Okay, so I'm going to put on the same chart the other one. So I'm going to do this in a different color. So I'm going to say h, not a different color, h of x equals log some base b, and then it's going to be the opposite of the argument. So the opposite of the x inside the parentheses there. Okay, so that's going to reflect about the y-axis. So go back to this green shape that we have, and now it's going to go like this. Well, not quite like that, but like that. Okay, well, I didn't draw it very well, but that's what it's going to be doing. Okay, so it's going to reflect about the y-axis. The vertical asymptote's still going to be the same. So you're still going to graph the vertical asymptote, x equals 0. And then you're going to have the x-intercept. That's going to be over here now. So the x-intercept is going to be -1, 0. You can think about that a little bit and see if that works for you. It's going to reflect about the y-axis this time. You're going to have to draw the curve. Better than I did, but... And then let's think about the domain and the range and the asymptote. The domain now is going to go from negative infinity to 0. The range is still going to be all real numbers, huh? Negative infinity to infinity. And then the asymptote is still x equals 0. Okay? So that's what's happening with the reflection. I think, oh, we don't have an example here. It must be in the next video. I'm just going to mention in my book, they have a typo here. It should be -10. So I don't know if they've updated that because it's in an online format. So they might have updated it. But if they didn't, I'm right on this. It's -10 for the x-intercept. Just pointing that out.